So Adam, welcome to Sweden. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel really good.
You're no stranger to Swedes though, because you've been working with like Red One and Max Martin, right? How was that?
I wrote one song with Red One, but that was it. But Max Martin's amazing, and Shellback too, the guy that he writes with, he's awesome. So yeah, and I've come here a couple times now. I always like it, but I'm always working so much that I don't get a lot of time to go out and hang around. So I have to change that someday.
And I guess you like Scandinavian people because you're dating a Finnish guy, right?
I do like Scandinavian people. Yeah, I do.
Your music career, it didn't really start with American Idol. You've been working a lot before that. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time doing theater, doing musicals, and I did that like since I was a kid. And then when I was in my 20s, I was doing that still. I was living in LA. I was doing some shows where I would go travel around. And then I slowly started becoming more and more interested in making my own music. And I was playing a lot on my GarageBand on my laptop. That was really fun. And then I met some producers and started writing stuff with them and some other instrumentalists. And I started asking around and talking to people that I'd known that had kind of made it in the industry or been writing or whatever. And the thing that I learned really quick is that it's really hard to like make it. And so I started realizing that I really needed to like find some other way to like get fans and to get myself out there besides just going to a record company. And so when I saw that American Idol was auditioning, I thought, well, wow, that would be amazing. I had watched the show for so many years and realized now, or at that point, how important it was to be able to like be seen on that, and if it's on the television, then so be it.
So how was that experience overall for you, American Idol? Because it's a little strange concept. You're so under the spotlight and it's a competition. It's not like the regular music business. How was that?
Well, I mean, I think the regular music business is more of a competition, really. But right, it's different. But I think that's actually one of the things about the show that's really great is it makes you competitive and kind of fight for it. And I think in the music industry, you kind of have to have the same mentality, at least in pop music. I mean, you really have to it's a lot of work and thinking and strategizing. The show was great. I had so much fun actually, and after the first couple weeks, I was really nervous. And if I go back and watch any of those performances, the first few, I'm you can see me shaking. But then I started getting a little more comfortable and kind of shocked that I was making it every week because I thought I was kind of different for the majority of America to be voting for. But I guess I was doing something right. I don't know. I had so much fun. I had a great time.
How disappointed were you when you came in second?
I wasn't disappointed. Like I said, but when it came down to the finale and it was just me and one other person, that alone was shocking. I thought, how did I do this? And the whole reason for auditioning in the first place was to try to get more opportunities after. So I knew at that point I had already done what I was going to do. It didn't really matter if I got first or second because that actually doesn't matter. They sign whoever they want to sign to their label. So I knew at that point that things were going to be good and I was going to have a lot more new things to work on, so I was fine. And
for the finale, you performed with Queen, and then you did it once again at the EMAs. How was that?
That was crazy. I couldn't believe they asked me to perform. I was just like, me? They're the nicest guys in the world, the whole band, and Brian May and Roger Taylor are so humble and cool and just they just light up the minute they're creating the music, and so for me it was such it just felt like a organic musical experience, walking into rehearsal. It was just let's do some songs, it wasn't any, I mean, I had this idea that it was going to be pressure and it was going to be kind of nerve-wracking, and it was the exact opposite. It was really comfortable.
Are you going to do it again?
Maybe.
Oh, it's a secret?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
So you have a new album coming out, and can you tell me a little bit about that?
It's called Trespassing, and it's a lot different from my last album. It's a lot funkier than my last album, and also it's a bit more, it sounds a bit more modern, I think, than the last album did, but it still does borrow from things from the past. It borrows a lot from the 90s, and some from disco funk, kind of 70s and 80s as well. I think it's very personal as well. I spent a year working on this album. I executive produced it, and I got to write most of the tracks. So everything that I put on the album is really coming from me. It's something that I really feel and really think about, and I think that fans are going to really enjoy that because I think it lets them into my world a little bit more and lets them get to know me better.
So the songs are about you?
Yeah, yeah. And if they're not directly about me, they're about the way I feel about something, you know, or my view of the way the world is or life. Yeah.
Is it more of a pops kind of record, or is it rocky, or how is it?
I don't even know the difference anymore, to be honest with you. I don't really understand how we're still like putting things into genres, because I think a lot of things are kind of everything.
I want to put you in a box now.
You want to put me in a box? I mean, it's definitely very pop in its sensibility, I guess, but there's also a lot of like funk on there, and there's a rock and roll spirit. You know what I mean? Like, there's like the way I kind of approach some of the vocals is very rock and roll, and there are guitars in there, and there are drums, but there's also a lot of electronic. I would consider it more of an electronic album than it is like a live album. And what I did with the album is I split it right in half. One half is the light side, and the other half is the dark side. I started writing all these songs over a year, and I realized that they all kind of fell into one of the two categories. And instead of just shuffle them all up, I thought it would be a stronger kind of journey for the listener to like group them together. So that front half is all like really fun dance music, and it's really like sexy and funky with bass lines and hard-hitting drums and lots of synthesizer. Pharrell Williams did 2 of the tracks on it. And they're like, they go to another place. I think people are going to be like, that's Adam? But the cool thing was they were really, they're even though it's like a departure from what people were used to hearing from me, I think they feel like a really good fit. All the music I did that I put on the album was stuff that I truly believed in, both from a musician standpoint and from an emotional standpoint as like a person.
So what's the future like for you? Do you have any plans, or are you just going to keep on doing records? Or
yeah, I'm just going to keep pushing forward, you know. I think like with Trespassing, this album, I'm going to spend the next year or 2 years or 3 years working it and trying to share music from it, and I really want to put together a tour, and then hopefully after that I'll do another one.
Are you ever going to go back to musical theater?
I don't know. I really enjoy music. I think I love musicals. I mean, I grew up doing them. I liked going to watch them. If the right thing came along, it'd be great. But I think what's so exciting about doing my own music is that it's mine. It's like, it's my ideas on display. I'm writing the music, the words, I'm dressing myself, I'm helping to put together the show. So it's like I'm getting to express me. And in most musical theater, you're doing something that someone else has written, someone's telling you what to do, and I hate being told what to do.
Can we, have you gotten any offer to join the Glee kind of society?
No official offers, but I will say, I think it's a great show. I'd love to come and sing on the show. That'd be great. Yeah. Cool. Maybe you can call him for me?
I'll try. Okay. I'll get the number. Right. What's the highest note you can take?
I don't know.
It's crazy high.
It's high, yeah. Yeah, I sing kind of high. But when I was younger, I was taking voice lessons a lot, and it was always like, okay, we'll warm up to this note, and this is your top note, and this is your bottom note. And after I stopped taking voice lessons for a while in my 20s, and when I stopped and I just started singing more from just feeling it as opposed to thinking like this is my note, I found that my range was higher and I wasn't thinking so much. And I'm a better singer when I'm not thinking. So I don't really care what the note is. I just care how it feels.
Do you have any last words for your fans in Sweden? Because we know they love you.
Oh, well, I love Sweden, and I want to come back and spend some time here in Stockholm and like have free time. Hopefully very soon. Because I keep driving around every time I come here to work, and I look out the window, I'm like, well, that looks cool, that looks cool, that looks cool. So I'm going to come back someday. Mix Megapol, mer musik, bättre blandning.